I do like that Igor went a little bit slower in this one, maybe a mid-pace deck with this RG cycle.
Fucking
And
stupid.
what a lightning from
Why?
Igor.
Why?
Oh my word. Yeah, maybe goes with the slower deck, but the very aggressive heads-up plays, and now we just are in front to demand a response out with this roll delivery, and this is something that Igor can still turn into offense with a great part there. I mean, that lightning was so far ahead of Vitor. What kind of tilt does that put you on when you're up against one of the best in the world and you see him step right in front of your head? Yeah, just step right into what you think. You lean into it. He sets you up and knocks you down just like that. Lightning comes in. He's ahead in damage. He's ahead in elixir. And now you see Vitor playing catch-up and defense is his minor. So now his best offensive option is now out of sight. Here we go into double elixir time. Bomb tower set up a little bit earlier this time. Now you see how far apart Vitor is spread this time around, not wanting to give that same lightning value as we saw in the previous play. And Igor was okay with that. Igor goes, all right, I'm going to take the lightning value on 2 units, or 1 unit and the princess tower, 10 times out of 10 until you show me that you can put up a threatening amount of damage, which as of right now, Vitor cannot do. This cycle to the left-hand side to meet the Fisherman 1750 on the right-hand lane. That last card maybe a poison. Certainly a possibility. It feels like it would be, and now just loading up troops at the bridge. The Heal Spirit does jump over the log. Yeah, and now Baby Dragon still helping. Yep, back on offense. Fisherman's still behind. This is the problem with this deck. That Fisherman's still getting behind now. Stops the next layer of defense that wants to come in from Vitor, and that Royal Giant going to the tower. This time, Log does connect. This is just absolute dominance. Absolute dominance. And you can say that it was a tough matchup situation, but you put together the defense you put together in that first one, and that lightning comes out before you even think about what you're going to do. Oh boy. And this is the nerve-wracking thing about having Vitor and committing to Vitor as your head-to-head guy is, well, now who is he going to play against? Yes, he fared well in the last match, but look at the dominance here in King of the Hill, and this is most likely a preview of what the 1v1 set would look like. Heal Spirit gives the RG a little bit more. Lightning takes the EWIZ out, and it's just, good luck. There's nothing he can do. There's literally nothing he can do. He can't create enough offensive presence to make it so that there's not enough elixir in the hand of Igor to lightning. So what's Igor going to do? This same thing over and over and over until that tower falls. Yeah, ground and pound. Get it done. GG, well played. Igor takes Vitor off the board. So a very, very fierce bounce back here from Team Liquid. All on the shoulders of Igor, not really doing anything that is unexpected at this point. I think him beating Lucas and Vitor the way he did is very unsurprising. And look, he's been the guy so far for Team Liquid this year, or this season. 1 and 2 in the 1v1 set. He's had some pretty tough matchups in those ones, but King of the Hill 7 and 3 at the moment. So, we talked about this beforehand. Igor might come out and run through this whole lineup 1, 2, 3. Very, very possible. Then you throw him out again in the 1v1. Will he get the win today if that happens? Very good chance, but you've seen the pressure on Vitor's shoulders, the weight on Vitor's shoulders. They can buckle a bit so far. I'm curious if Vitor thought that Igor was going to run the Skelly Barrel bait deck. You look at what he has in response. The minor to create damage all the time, and then that minor plus poison, which is what the last card was, would be a great way to catch goblins, spear goblins, or get value on top of those cheap units. You got the bomb tower and the EWIZ and the knight tank for the mortar. I wonder if they were planning on putting Igor on his comfort deck. Igor goes with a big time swerve, and basically it's a counter to a counter. Look, Igor running mortar in game 2. It's pretty much expected now. Yeah. So that's one of the reasons why I love this call here in his second appearance today. Not going mortar, going something completely on the other side of the spectrum, and just being 5 steps ahead of his opponent. Yeah, because if you speak of what his opponent could have done if it were that mortar matchup, you've always got either the bomb tower or the knight to play tank for that mortar, and then it's just all minor poison damage that becomes almost impossible for Igor to defend. So Igor goes, all right, if he's going to play something like that to stop mortar, I'll just go Royal Giant Lightning. because Royal Giant Lightning is a pain to deal with in playing that deck. So really, really nice deck choice there. And this also frees Igor up to just go, I'm going to play Mortar at some point today, boys. You just have to guess when. Yeah, when is the big question. How do you game plan around that? So now Igor 2-0 on the day, 7-3 in his King of the Hill for the season, with a chance to go 1-2-3 and set up the 1v1 set. But first, has to go through the last guy, the other Brazilian on Pain Gaming squad, Wallace, who is certainly a talented player, but Igor can't be super concerned now, having gone through the two aces. Okay, yeah, Wallace had a really nice showing against Morton, but like you said, aces, the aforementioned aces have already been eliminated. So now Wallace feels nothing but pressure against someone who is very, very good in these situations. Well, Wallace has to try to beat Igor, which, always going to be a difficult out to get, and then go up against the most famous player in the game with everybody watching. So it's going to be a tough road for Wallace trying to close this thing out for Pain in the second set.
Cool.
So Barbara Poison immediately met by a Magic Archer with some counter damage. So looks like Igor might be going back to the same deck from game number 2. He does like repeating decks in games today, not going back to back. Another pretty big shift here with the 6-man Royal Recruits 3-3 split, which again is a really nice shift here from Igor from playing back-to-back decks or playing Mortar second deck. He's becoming more unpredictable, which if he's going to be this important to his squad every single match, that's something that he needs to work on is unpredictability, and today is a great, great example of that. That was a big heel spear. Going to get a few Royal Recruit shot from the left-hand side. And he's going to be pretty even on Elixir going into this next phase. Miner goes to the outside one more time. Yeah, he'll probably just keep setting it there until, the King Tower gets activated or until he finally wants to pull a sword when the tornado is out of cycle. Wallace setting up for his first graveyard push. Poison immediately in response, so just a minor poison control deck out of Igor here. Yep. With a lot heavier piece than you're typically used to seeing. And I like this more. I like seeing Igor run the minor poison control more than anyone on Pain doing it in these matchups. Just because this is the type of deck that Igor thrives with, whereas I feel like the other guys are kind of putting themselves at a handicap. When you think about this, right, I mean, this could easily be a minor Pekka poison deck, which was kind of how you saw minor poison control operate for a long time. You take 1/7 Elixir card to Pekka out, you put in the Royal Recruits, and in the current meta, you get a lot more value. Yeah, and the really nice thing here is that Igor can pick and choose which side he wants to send his minor to in support. Goblin Cage to pick up both the Baby Dragon and the Knight. And a bit of a suspect NATO out of the Brazilian. Yeah, suspect is a very, very appropriate word for it. It looked like it could have been really like a really heads-up NATO, but just not in the right spot. Igor cycles his recruits in the back one more time. 3-3 again, not giving the 4 recruit value to either lane. The heel spear in the back gave a little more juice. And that's exactly what Igor is going to want to do every single time he can. Going up against Graveyard, first he needs to set the line at the river, but when there is no line to be set, when there is no imposing threat, always cycle the 6-man in the back because it's going to slow down your opponent, or at least delay your opponent in dropping their next Graveyard. So you see right here, he would love to drop a Graveyard right now, Wallace would, but instead, he's got 3 recruits on both towers, making it impossible. Poison to the left-hand side, we'll put a little more damage down and take care of the Magic Archer, but that's one of the interesting things about this deck and this matchup. You poison the Magic Archer, well then here comes the Musketeer. You focus on the Musketeer, here comes the Magic Archer. Really brutal choices being forced out of Wallace by Igor. Now Musketeer does get a big shot in on the left-hand side. Then of course against the Graveyard, you have the defensive poison, whatever you want. So, real brutal situation here for the Brazilian. This is just why I like Igor playing these types of decks. He loves being patient. He's the type of guy that loves watching your whole entire tower fall, one minor shovel at a time. Some of us get impatient when that happens. Igor loves it. Miner into the right-hand side, and Interesting that the NATO's out of cycle, but he goes to the safe spot one more time. I would have loved to see Igor go to the back in that one because the NATO had just been played, but maybe he believes some hack stuff before Tornado actually came. Yeah, definitely a mistake there. You know, there's a way for him to get more damage in. Obviously, he's pitching almost a perfect game, so we have to pick apart what we can. But again, these miners going to that safe spot when it's not necessary is something that's slowing down his win. Final 15 seconds here. Bomb tower for Wallace. Takes one more shot on the left, 595. Just has to go graveyard poison. Hopefully he can get some more damage on the tower. Maybe NATO here to add a little bit more and disrupt that. Magic Archer not going to help. Igor, angry, comes out 1, 2, 3, gets revenge for Canario's internet connection, and a clean king of the hill sweep to send us to the 1v1.
Like, I'm not usually a guy that's like, you know what, that needed to happen, or that should have happened, or I'm glad this happened, but I am very, very happy that we saw what happened just now in King of the Hill. It felt really unfortunate to see Canario disconnect with such a strong lead up against a great player in Negus. Have Igor kind of even things back out after that unfortunate start to the second set. It feels nice that we're moving into the third set, which feels even once again.
Yeah, here's an interesting question for you, Andrew. Conventional wisdom is to send Igor. But Igor just played 3 games, pulled out all the stops, played a bunch of tricks you wouldn't expect, and you gotta imagine Canario is chomping at the bit, knowing he was playing perfectly. Is there any way you send out the Giant Slayer in set number 3 rather than the Russian?
If there was any way to 100% guarantee that Canario was to have no issues for the next 3 games, then I would say yes. I would love to see that. I would think it would catch our opponent flipping. We haven't seen Canario go through a lot of decks, and he played very, very well. That being said, since it is an uncontrollable variable, and Igor put it to these 3 guys, he didn't just win, he dominated them. I think he just bring it back out. He didn't play his lower deck, he didn't play his upper deck, he played different decks, he moved things around, he didn't repeat anything. I think all of that makes it so that he can run those same decks back again, just in a different fashion. So, as much as I would love to see Canario, I think he's still just going through it.
Yeah, and you make a great point with the conversation about the connection issues, not knowing if those are resolved or not having a guarantee in that situation does make it hard, especially when you have a best of 3 here. It's not like you're losing 1 game in King of the Hill. This is the match.
Yeah.
So you're probably right here. Send Igor back out. He's playing phenomenally. And Igor, with 5 wins on the day to clutch up for Team Liquid would be absolutely huge. Paid game